Welcome everyone to my channel. If you stumbled across this video, you most likely are interested or you are having thoughts of becoming a nurse, because that is exactly what this video is about. Stay tuned. So, you are having thoughts of becoming a nurse. You're thinking about it, you're pondering about it. You are maybe new to the healthcare industry, or maybe you are not. Maybe you are familiar. Maybe you are CNA, or maybe you are a CMA, which is a certified medical assistant, or maybe you're just a caregiver. Maybe you're just someone that wants a career change. But whatever it is that you are in the right place. You're in the right place. Okay, so I want to share with you guys my experience, my first term experience. I am a nursing student. My name is Portia Blackman, and I am in my first semester. And so far, it has really been quite an experience. And I would say that if I can describe it, I would use the word intense. Very, very, very intense. Very intense. So like yourself, I had many questions. I didn't know what to expect. And I didn't know which direction to go in, because I had Google. So I pretty much Googled a lot of the information that I found out. And that is what helped me to get on the road to finding the university, finding a program, and everything else that I needed. So I'm pretty sure you have been Googling up a storm. You've been doing all kinds of research regarding your new degree or your new career change. And so I want to talk about some of the first things that I experienced when I first started. So when I first found out what type of degree I wanted, first I was a little confused about the terminology, because you have the RNs, and then you have the BSN or ADN, and then you have your MSN. So let's talk about the terminology surrounding your degree. So whatever degree, as far as how far up the ladder you want to climb, or if you just want to get your feet wet and you want to be a licensed practical nurse, or you can be an ADN or have your ADN degree, which is your associate's degree in nursing. Or you can do your BSN, which is your bachelor's degree in nursing, or your MSN, which is your master's degree in nursing, or your DNP, which is your doctorate degree in nursing. So however far you want to climb up the ladder, they have pretty much all of those degree types available. And the time frame ranges per degree. It ranges. So some, depending on the university or the community college or the program that's available for you, every program will be different. Some programs, like the program that I'm in, it's 18 months for my ADN. And then it's a little bit longer, which will be like 36 months for my BSN. And so I chose to go the ADN route, because after 18 months, I can sit for my NCLEX exam, and I can start working in the field. I can start gaining the experience that I need. And if I want to pursue going to another degree, a higher degree, then I can still do that while working. So before I got accepted into the university that I'm in now, there was a few steps that they required. So whichever degree program or whichever university that you may attend, there may be a special requirement as far as your academic status. So it's almost like a entrance exam. So most do require an entrance exam. And so the university that I'm at now, they did require me to take a exam. And it's pretty much general knowledge as far as like English, science, what else? Math, reading. So they test you on all of those areas depending on your score. So they actually required me to get a 62 for the minimum for the ADN program. And if I wanted to do the BSN program, I was required to score a 72 or higher. So the testing itself, it's like a third-party testing center or site. And after you take the test, of course, they give you like study material for you to study first. And then after you take the test, they send your results to the university, or they send them to you, depending on how you set it up. And so some universities, they use ATITs 7, or some use HIC. I hope I'm saying that right. So depending on the university or the college that you're going to go get through your program, then they will let you know which testing site that they use. And so the test itself, it was very hard. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Listen, that test was very hard. And I don't know if it was because I've been out of school for over 10 years now. I graduated long ago. Graduated in 2010. So that makes me out of school for roughly almost 13 years. And so my general knowledge for a lot of the areas, like for science, oh my goodness, it was horrible. But I had to keep studying. And I will say, after failing a few times, because I did fail, I failed it like 3 times. And that last time, I was like, you know what? I'm about done with it. I was mad. I was upset. I didn't want to do it no more. But I'm like, you know what? If I stop, that means I actually failed. Like, that means I'm a quitter. And I'm like, I'm not a quitter. I'm not a failure. So I got to do what I got to do to make sure that I pass this test. So I went back and I studied. And the good thing is that on the test, it will, like, some of the answers, I kept getting some of the same answers. And so that was a good thing, because I was able to remember, what was on the test. And so I was able to go back and be like, okay, I remember this answer was this, and I know I got it right. And so it did help me to pass and help me to know some of the answers that I wasn't familiar with, or that I didn't know the answer to. I was able to go back and I was able to study that. And so I would really just say study, and find out all of the requirements that the university need. Because if you are trying to get in a program that is approaching maybe a month out or 2 months out, if you fail that test, God forbid, you may be required to retake it. And if you have to retake it, that means you're going to need more time to study. You're going to need more time. And then with this particular program that I'm in, I could only take it once a week. So I had to wait a week apart to retake the test. And the last time that I retook it, I was actually approaching my enrollment date. And so if I didn't pass that last time, I would have had to wait to get into the next term, which will be this coming April. So thank God I passed. So I was able to get in really quickly, and they actually had another alternative. So maybe that will be a question for you to ask. God forbid you do fail. Is there another alternative, another program you can get yourself into? That way you can still get into the door, and while still studying or still taking some of the courses or the general education courses that the nursing program may need or may be required. So for example, that was going to be my route. If I would have kept failing the test, then I was just going to enter into I forgot what it's called, but it was another program, Pathways to Success program, or something similar to that nature. And they was going to enroll me into the same courses that the nursing program, general education courses that they require. That way I can still start and then take my core classes, enroll into my core classes the following term when I do pass the the test. So that test is no joke. And that will really be one of the big parts of your requirements, because that determines everything. That test determines everything, and you don't want to play around with it, especially if your enrollment date is quickly approaching. Study, 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 because it's not joke. It's not joke. What else? Okay, so let's talk about immunizations, because many programs will require you to have your immunizations up to date plus some. So that means that for anyone that lives in the United States or is a citizen of the United States, they will require you to have your immunizations, which is your shot records, up to date. If they're not up to date, you will have to get them up to date. And that means you will have to go to the doctor and get whatever shot that you did not get when you was a child. And then you would fill out the form, or your doctor will fill it out, and then you will submit it to the university. They gave us forms for the clinic to fill out, and they filled them out, because I wasn't up to date on one of my chickenpox shots. And I was born here in Florida. I'm in Florida. For anyone in Florida, I was born here in Florida, but I lived in Pennsylvania when I was young. And during that time, that's when I got the chickenpox. So I was immune to it. I never got the shot, but I developed immunity to it because I caught the chickenpox. And so when I developed immunity to it, I was in Pennsylvania and I wasn't here. So Pennsylvania had my records and not here in Florida. So they gave me the option to either go and get the shot or get the titer. And the titer is pretty much proof that you have it in your body. You have the antibodies in your body. And so, or I would have to go to Pennsylvania and get the records and bring them down here, which is too much. So what I did was I went and got my blood drawn just to show that I had immunity in my blood. And so I was able to use that and submit that as proof of immunization. What else? This university like for us to have the Tdap shot, the flu shot. Now, depending on where you live, I know here in Florida and with this particular university, they do not require us to have a COVID-19 shot or immunization. So if you do, I mean, it's fine. If you don't, you may want to check to see what they may require, but some are different. So this university that I'm attending, they did not require us to have it. What else did they require? They required a physical. So they want to make sure that you are physically fit, that you can see, that you can hear, that you can, you have no physical limitations. What else? I think that was it regarding the immunizations. But listen, y'all, it was such a resistance. When going to get all this stuff done, every time I went to the clinic, it was issue after issue after issue. And I just knew that I was doing something right. Because I'm having all these issues just to get in school. You know, they were trying to give me shots I didn't need. They were trying to tell me all kind of stuff that wasn't right, you know, as far as like the documents that I needed and what I didn't need. And I'm like, no. So I just knew that I was doing something right, because I don't believe if you are thinking about becoming a nurse, it's not just a job. It's not just a career. It's not just a degree. But listen, it is a calling, okay? It is a calling. I believe that it is calling. It is something, it's a purpose. It's something that you were designed to do, bring healing, bring help. When you're talking about human life, you're talking about the health of other people. It's not just any old thing. So sometimes when you are doing things that is a part of your purpose and that is a part of your calling, there will be resistance there, and you just got to know how to push through and persist. Because that's what I had to do. I had to push through, and I had to persist if I wanted to get into this program. So I actually, I've been a CNA for the past 11 years. Yeah, over 10 years now. I've been a CNA. So, yeah, 11 years. So I've been in this field for a long time. I worked alongside nurses. Those that are CNAs, you know how it is to be a CNA. You know how it is to work in facilities, home health, things like that. I worked in many facilities, rehab, nursing home, assisted living facilities. I've worked home health. I've pretty much done it all, y'all. I worked in psych wards, which is very interesting. I pretty much done it all. So this is definitely new for me. As far as the role, as far as the administration of medications and things like that, and you know, it's new. The knowledge, all of it is new. Um, but yeah, so if you are pursuing this, congratulations, because it's it's not easy. It's not easy, but it can be done. It can be done, and it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding to be able to care for another human, to be able to bring hope and healing to families. So it is so rewarding, and I don't think that you would regret it um, when you pretty much not allow yourself to get burnt out. I believe that when people get burnt out in these professions, they tend to despise their job, just like any job. When you get burnt out, if you don't know how to manage your time, your schedule, and have that work-life balance, you'll get burnt out and you'll kind of despise your job and kind of want to revert back and want to, you know, change careers. So I believe, having that work-life balance and knowing how to manage stress, especially while you're in school, because when you get out of school, it's a whole different ball game. And so that's something that I'm actually working on right now. So I don't think you will despise your decision. And I think you'll continue to love your job. But I believe that, I know that after I graduate, it's going to be a completely different ball game. And so right now I'm just juggling everything to make sure that I stay afloat and that I don't let anything fall through the cracks, because what I found out my first term this semester is that you cannot get behind. You can't get behind on your work. You can't get behind on your assignments. You can't get behind on anything, because it's when you get behind, it's hard to catch up. Thank God I did not get behind, but I stayed on top of everything. And when an assignment was due, I tried my best to work on it early, because as long as you are working on it early, you won't have no problem getting behind. Like, you don't have to worry about getting behind. So always stay ahead. So once you do get into your program, do everything that you can to stay ahead. Manage your time, prioritize your time, your schedule, set time aside to study. Block out time, block out people, block out the phone, block out do not disturb, whatever you got to do that you can really focus and study, because it's easy for all of us to get distracted if we're not focused. So study. So my first term courses were human nutrition and chemistry. So the human nutrition class was actually pretty good. I really loved that class. And I think I loved it because I've always been into health and nutrition, and talking about food, talking about how our bodies how our bodies respond to food and things like that, and talking about chronic diseases, talking about what are some things that we can do as far as eating wise to prolong life and things like that. So that was really good. And I passed that class. I passed my chemistry class, which was very hard. The chemistry is no joke. I would really advise you guys, when you get general chemistry, to pay attention. Pay attention and study, and also ask questions. Reach out to your instructor, depending on how your program is set up. So my first two courses was actually online. I will be in the building taking my core courses. So my general courses, they have online. So I was able to message my instructor anytime I needed anything, and reached out to her. And they was pretty responsive and pretty on it anytime I needed something. So, but I would really just say study, y'all, because it's no joke. That chemistry was so hard. It was so hard. Oh my goodness. Mm, I don't even want to think about it. It was so hard. I didn't like it. I really didn't. And it was hard for my brain to kind of like comprehend the sciences because it's like numbers and letters and equations and all kind of other equations and stuff that just didn't make no sense. It made no type of logical sense. It was hard. So I would really just study, 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 and don't use the curriculum as your only source of material to study from. Go on YouTube, go Google stuff. I mean, do whatever you gotta do to really like get that information and for you to comprehend what you're being taught. Because now your school may have a certain grading standard that they go by, a grading rubric that they go by. So for my school, we have to score a minimum of 78 or higher to pass the class. Yeah. No 70 like in high school days. No, 78. If you don't score 78, you fail the class. And you can't fail in nursing school. And so I knew that I had to at least pass with a 78. At least a 78. I mean, I passed it with I think it was like an 84-ish point something. But it was past the 78. And so I'll take a B plus any day in chemistry. Okay? And when you take it, you'll see. Now, unless you love chemistry and you like sciences and stuff and all that kind of stuff, like unless you love it and you're interested in those things, then it's for you. You'll do well. You'll do swell. You'll do swell. But for people like me, it's not me, y'all. It's not me. Give me the anatomy of the human body. I will learn every part, every ligament. I will learn every muscle, every cell. I will learn every vein. I will learn all that. But that chemistry, y'all can have that. It's not for me. So that's that. What I have coming up next. So my next term starts next week. And I will be taking microbiology and what else am I taking? Microbiology. I'm taking something else too. Human development. Yeah, microbiology and human development. Now these courses may be different too, depending on the program you're in. The name, the terminology may be different, but it's similar as far as the material and the curriculum. So I'll be taking that next term, and it's another class I'll be taking too. They actually have me taking like 2 classes. It's either physiology or patho, one of those. And it's all online, which is good because I'm actually I'm traveling to Europe next month, so this is going to be perfect for me to be able to still be able to do my work and be in school and vacate a little bit. Not really vacate because I'm going for a conference, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I think that's it as far as the entrance exam, the immunizations. I talked about my first term. It was really good. It was, like I said, it was intense. It was very intense, but I loved it. It was intense. Make sure you study, get everything in on time, and you're good. Ask questions. Don't assume, but always ask questions. And another thing too is when you're searching for a university that will be a good fit for you, ask the question of what is their success rate? Not that is going to determine your success rate, but you just want to kind of have an idea of, is their material and the curriculum that they're teaching, is it effective on the people? What else? Do they choose your clinical sites? Because you're gonna have to do your clinicals later on in your program. And you want to know is that something that you have to do, or is that something they do for you? Because If it's something that is you have to do, it may be tough, because that means you got to call around. You have to go find clinical sites just for you to complete your clinicals. But if they do it, then they do all the hard work. And so for this program that I'm in, they actually find the clinical sites, and they schedule your time to be there and all that good stuff. So we don't have to do that. Excuse me. What else? I think that is it. If you have any questions, any other information that you want to know regarding the program, I don't think I left out anything. Let's talk about financial aid, because certain programs, many other programs, they do accept financial aid. Probably mostly all of them do. But I know that because it's an intense program, it may be hard for someone. It can be done, but it may be hard if you don't have that work-life school balance, to work at the same time and going to school. So you may want to consider, okay, am I gonna work full time and go to school full time, or am I gonna work part time and focus on school more and go to school full time? So that's something to consider. So you may want to think of a financial budget that you may need as far as your bills and everything like that. Do you want to stop working completely, if you're able to? So those are just some things to think about. I work from home. So I work from home because we run our home business from home. And I also go to school full time. So I was able to bring that balance as far as, okay, I can work on the business during this time. Plus I have my husband, and I can go to school. So it kind of works out. But it may not be that way for everyone. So it's just something to think about. And also, if you have children, I have 6 children, 6 kids. My 1-year-old, he is actually, I'm sorry, no, he just turned 2. He's not 1. My 2-year-old, he's actually home now because he has like a stomach bug. And so he didn't go to daycare today, and I had to pick him up early yesterday. But thank God I'm on this 2-week break, because I don't have to worry about doing work as far as schoolwork and taking care of him. But I have my husband here too. So, so those are just some things to think about. Do you have a family? Are you married? Because you're going to want to be able to prioritize your time around that, because it's going to demand a lot out of you during these 18 months or whatever your program may require. So it's going to demand a lot, and even your family will have to be understanding of that. So yeah, lots of sacrifices, when you're during your time. I wouldn't say spend all your time studying, go still live, of course. But make sure that you are prioritizing your time and prioritizing this time of being in school, because like I said, if that university or that college, if they require you to have a certain passing grade, like, your focus got to be there and there only. Yeah. All right. What else? I think I covered everything. So if you guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Whenever you find this video, like, comment, subscribe if it has been a helpful to you. Do all those things that everybody else tell you to do, and come back and let me know if you have any questions. What else do you want to know, see? And I'll try to do an update every so often. Whenever I get new information, I'll bring it to you. And yeah, so you have a blessed, tremendous day.